Okay, I'm reloaded. Captain Procrastination strikes again. I kind of had this content on the back burner for a while. I thought I already did a Mazda showcase, but I found out I didn't. I basically lumped it into Mazda models or castings, either premium or mainline. I usually lump them in when I do a JDM showcase or something like that. So decided to do a Mazda showcase. And we're gonna take a look. These are mainly, I think, I only have one Johnny Lightning out of these 10 castings. They're mostly Hot Wheels and Matchbox mainline and premium castings. So let's begin. On the turntable, what we got is the Hot Wheels Mazda RX-7 Generation 1 casting. And this debuted in 2012. New models designed by Jun May. Amai. Amai. I think it's Amai. This is the Speed Blur 2020 color variation in orange with white stripes and white and blue graphics. Has a dark silver plastic base. It has smoke tint windows, black interior, and white aero disc wheels. I said black interior. There's a treasure hunt, super treasure hunt variation of this one casting, which I've shown in the past. I would advise you to check out my JDM videos, just because I always drop information that I get either from the internet or books or either the Hot Wheels or Matchbox wiki. Yeah, the difference between the super treasure hunt is them aero disc wheels are black on the super treasure hunt instead of white. And of course, it has special paint. It looks darker and it's, of course, metallic looking. And of course, I said this is based on the first generation Mazda RX-7. It was produced from 1978 to 1985. Racing livery was based on a 1980 Mazda RX-7 owned by former Mattel lead painter Brandon Ozaki that has a IMSA style body kit, and the livery is kind of inspired by that. Next, what we have is the Mazda Repu. It debuted in HW Daredevil 2017. Designed by Jun May again. Of course, we know him. He's doing the Kato House thing. HW Hot Tracks 2022. I mean, Hot Trucks, I should say 2022. Orange grill detail, black stripe across the sides. What else can we say? Mazda logo, Hot Wheel logo on there. Rotary power on the tailgate. Black plastic base, clear windows. I think they stopped last time. This is one of the rare ones where the tail light and headlights is done. After a while, they would stop doing this, and I think they would stop doing the tail lights or either the headlights or both after a while, if I remember right. Clear windows, black interior, 5 SP wheels, based on a real truck owned by New Zealand drift racer Mad Mike with it, of course, who has a he has a relationship with Hot Wheels. They feature him so many things inspired on stuff he's owned and stuff he hasn't owned. Sometimes they just put his name on stuff. The actual Mazda repo trucks were produced from 1974 to 1977. Very rare, only 15,000 were available for the US and Canada. And they were the only rotary engine trucks ever produced that I know of. And these trucks also, if I remember right, they have a relationship with Ford. Ford owned, starting I think in the they say in the late 70s, but it became more apparent in the 80s. They probably just were doing projects, but Ford eventually helped them, and I think that's where some of that truck design came from the Ford Ranger. Yeah, Ford would own 30% of eventually of Mazda, but I think by the late 2000s or either 2010s, they separated. What we have on the turntable right now is the Mazda Savannah RX-7 FC3S. Debuted in Night Burners 2020, designed by Rio Asada. This is the HW Imports, J Imports color variation 2021 in white with detailed headlights, taillights, black plastic base. Has smoke tint windows. Black interior, white PR5 wheels. This is the second generation Mazda RX-7, produced from 1986 to 1990. And it's inspired, of course, by the design of the Porsche 924. And actually, this is a sleeper. They're bigger in Japan and by Mazda RX-7 aficionados. Next, what we have is the Mazda MX-5 Miata 1991. Debuted in HW Speed Graphics 2019. Designed by the late great Rio Asada. This is the HW Roasters color variation in yellow. It has the hot MX-5 license plate on the front and rear. No, it's only on the rear. They said it's on the front. Unless it's to the side. I think it is. Yeah, it is on the front. It's just on the side, not in the middle. Detailed front and back. For some reason, don't want to stay on. Has a black plastic base. Smoke tint windows, black interior, gray MC5 wheels. And we have a premium counterpart. And this is the Car Culture's Modern Classics 2023 color variation on the right with the artichoke green paint, detailed headlights and taillights, black metal base. Smoke tint windows, brown interior, gray RR8 SP wheels, known as the Eunice Roadster in Japan, the first generation Mazda MX-5, commonly known as the Miata in the U.S. market, was introduced in 1989, inspired by British sports cars like the Triumph Spitfire and MGB. Originally launched with a 1.6-liter inline 4 and 5-speed manual transmission. Production of the first generation MX-5 Miata ended in 1997. Next, we got the model that the Mazda is probably best known for, and this is the third generation Mazda RX-7. In fact, this one's supposed to represent a 1995 year model. This casting Hot Wheels debuted in Then and Now 2017, designed by Jun May. The first color variation, metal flake dark blue, detailed headlights and taillight, Mazda logo on front, black plastic base, heavy smoke tint windows, has tan interior. J5 wheels based on the third generation Mazda RX-7, like I said, also known as the FD series, produced from 1993 to 2002. It was the first sequential twin turbo system sports car imported from Japan, and this casting features all elements of the fantasy casting 24/7. Which was a knockoff RX-7 before they got the official rights, I think. Next, what we have is the RX-8. And these gonna be Matchbox. Oh, they're all Mazdas, but this is gonna be Matchbox from now on in. And what we have is the 2004 Mazda RX-8, debuted in mainline MBX showroom 2023. This is the MBX showroom 2024. Color variation in red, detailed trim, dark gray plastic base. Looks black to me, but oh well. Smoke tint windows, dark gray interior, which we can't even see because the tint on the windows is so dark. Designed by Charlie Angulu. The Mazda RX-8 was produced from 2003 to 2012, with the car officially debuted in 2004 for the U.S. market. Unfortunately, well known for mechanical issues, including the fact that it sucks up oil and burns gas like a water buffalo. But when the car is expertly modified, it's a powerful drift and drag machine. A lot of people were disappointed in the MX-8. I think because the RX-8, because the RX-7 third generation was so beloved. But oh well, now you got nothing. So You don't have no arcs, nothing, you know. So, next, a little depart. This is the 2019 Mazda 3 hatchback, debuted in mainline MBX Metro 2020, designed by Abe Lugo. This is the first color variation in red, detailed front and rear trim, black plastic base. Clear windows, black interior. Originally known as the XLA in Japan and China when it was introduced in 2003. The fourth generation Mazda 3, introduced in 2019, had a 1.5, many options for engines, from 1.5 to a 2.5 liter inline 4 and 6-speed manual automatic transmissions. There was also a hybrid variation. Practical, but not as reliable as a Honda or Toyota. It was kind of a mildly successful car. Next, what we have is the 2015 Mazda MX-5, another Matchbox. Miata convertible. Debuted in mainline plus MBX Adventure City 2015, designed by Abe Lugo. This is the MBX City 2020. Color variation in metal flake orange, detailed front and rear trim. It has a black plastic base. Clear windows, dark gray interior. It's the fourth generation MX-5 Miata, which is the best-selling two-seater sports car in history, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. So, it's the more modern MX-5. Last but not least, what we have is a first generation Mazda RX-7 from Greenlight. This is actually supposed to be a replica of a 1982 model year. Came from a 2-pack that also featured a 1981 Datsun 280ZX from 2021. Yeah, I can't front. This is my peanut butter and jelly. It even has the detailed engine bay. Unfortunately, it don't open all the way, so I had to put something in there to keep that. Hopefully, give you a little look at the engine bay. It's kind of small. You can see the blue air cleaner that's way up over there on the right side for some reason. That's the way the Mazdas are, because the engine configuration with that rotary part is kind of different. But this is why I like to collect Johnny Lightning, Greenlight, and Mini GT and all the rest premium, because you see the more realistic scale on the left with the Johnny Lightning. Nothing wrong with that Hot Wheels. But once you become more of a collector, you get more into scale, you get more into realism. And like I always say, this is not the best diecast channel. It's not the worst either. Model here is to show a little love to the diecast. I want to thank all of the subscribers who've been showing me likes and views. Random viewers who come across this channel, I hope you decide to subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a like or dislike behind, leave a comment behind. It's always good to get feedback. Until the next time, peace and blessings. This is Big Dappuccino signing out. Name of the channel is Deja Vu, Royalty Diecast Garage, and this has been a Mazda Showcase.